So, as No Man's Sky gives us effectively an infinite universe to explore, it does mean there is a chance to stumble across a variety of incredibly rare things in the game. And these things can range from planets and ships to resources and companions, so in this video I've compiled a short list of some of the most rare things you can get or see in the game, and more importantly I'll be showing you how you can either get your hands on them or see them for yourself. Now this list is in no particular order of rarity, so make sure you stick around until the end so you don't miss anything important. So let's start with talking about planets. As you all know, there are 18 quintillion planets in the vast No Man's Sky universe, most of which have yet to be discovered, so we could even get more rare planets in future discoveries. But for the purpose of this video, the first super rare planet we're going to talk about is a lush planet with white grass. Now I've created multiple videos in the past giving you the locations to rare paradise planets, and they've come in a whole host of different colours, like blue, purple, pink, orange, green and so on. But in over 500 hours of gameplay I have never ever come across a lush planet with white grass. Until now, of course. And as you can see, this planet is simply stunning. Has white grass, great views and some greeny blue water to make it even more special. It's so incredibly rare to come across a planet with white grass, especially in the Euclid galaxy, which is where this planet happens to be. And here are the coordinates to it if you want to come and visit it for yourself and perhaps create a base on there as well. You will of course need access to a portal and have unlocked 16 of the portal glyphs to use that portal, but if you haven't got either of those things yet, don't worry because I have you covered. I have recently created a video showing you how to find all of the portal glyphs on a single planet, and I've also created a video in the past showing you how you can find portals as well. I'll leave a link to both of those videos in the description for you, so check them out if you need to find a portal or all 16 of the glyphs. So, moving on, but still talking about planets, another incredibly rare sight in No Man's Sky is seeing two colliding planets. Now, before I go into how to get there, I will give you a word of warning. Visiting colliding planets has been known in the past to break some players' save files. I'm not sure how it does it, but if you want to visit these colliding planets, I would recommend making a manual save off planet, or, totally risk free like me, use a save you don't mind corrupting at all in the off chance the save does go tits up. So as you can see from space, these planets are literally touching, and thanks to the No Man's Sky community, some players have created bases around the collision points, which you can visit and then experience the funky gravity anomalies for yourself. So here are the portal coordinates on screen to come and visit the colliding planets. And also just be warned, if you decide to jump off the base like I have and you're in freefall through the two planets and you're also playing survival mode, you'll likely die when you eventually land. So that's why you should visit these planets on a save you don't mind either corrupting or indeed, like me, dying on. Right, let's move on to rare ships. Ship hunting is a big aspect of No Man's Sky to some players, and it used to be for me. And if you've watched any of my previous videos, you'll have most likely seen me flying around in a red and purple squid ship. And this has been my main ship for well over a year now, and we'll start with that. Squid ships. These are some of the rarest ships in the game, and they are so incredibly rare to come across in the wild, you'll almost never find one randomly. The only reason I got my hands on one was thanks to the legends over at the subreddit RNMS Coordinates Exchange, and this is where I'll be giving you something to you guys if you ever wanted a squid ship of your own. So here are the portal coordinates to a couple of crashed squid ships in various colours, so you can choose your favourite out of the list. I'll also leave them on the screen for a short amount of time so you can make a note of them. The best thing about these ships is they're crashed, so you don't have to spend a single penny to get your hands on them. And of course, because they're squid ships, they are all S-class as well. And sticking with ships, let's talk about some exotic ships. Now these come in various shapes and sizes, but the more rare ones are the ones with dual thrusters at the back, and again, the chances of coming across these in the wild are very slim to none, so you'll usually need to be given the portal coordinates to get your hands on them in the first place. And that's where I'm going to help you out again. If you like the look of these dual thruster exotic ships, here are the portal coordinates for a few of these exotic ships in various colours, so you can once again take your pick. I don't say I don't treat you every now and again. Now, not all of these ships are crashed, so you will need to hang around the space station or at a trade terminal for a bit of time till they come around. This could take 5 minutes, it could take 30 minutes, there's real no pattern, but they will most certainly be worth the wait. So now let's talk about incredibly rare resources that you can gather, and the best part is they're still worth a lot of money. We're talking upwards of 10 million units a pop, and that is even after the Waypoint update, which nerfed the value of a whole load of resources. But of course, these resources still having these super high values means they're still pretty damn rare. And the first of these super rare resources is Starship AI valves. Since the Waypoint update last year, these are now worth 12 million units a pop, down from a whopping 50 million units a pop. Why they were downgraded alongside a bunch of other resources is anyone's guess, but here we are. Anyway, if you want to get your hands on the Starship AI valves, you're going to want to scrap some ships on board the regular space stations. Now, this doesn't work with any bog standard starship, otherwise these would be rather common and probably not worth anywhere near as much. But these days, you want to scrap ships worth over 50 million units to be in with a chance of getting some Starship AI valves. Now, if I remember correctly, this used to be possible by scrapping ships worth 40 million, though I think this has now been increased to 50 million. However, finding a ship worth that much is also incredibly uncommon, so usually you'll want to get your hands on a hauler, as some of these are worth upwards of 30 million units anyway. Then you need to upgrade it a little bit so its value goes above 50 million. And once you've done that, scrap it and you should hopefully be rewarded with a bunch of scrap alongside some Starship AI valves. And if you really want to, you can then use the Personal Refiner duplication glitch to get a whole bunch more of them, though these days I don't use duplication glitches anymore, so I'm not sure if they still work, but worth a try if you want to. Now, these next two items are both incredibly rare, but they are in fact craftable. The catch here, however, is you need to craft a whole load of other things to get your hands on both of them. Now, I won't go into everything you need to craft to get both of them because we'll be here all day, but I will go into the final layer of crafting, meaning I'll give you the 3 resources you need to craft these insanely rare resources. I will also give you a list of the basic resources you need to craft them, well, their entire tree, and eventually the 2 highly valuable rare resources. I will also post a link in the description to the full crafting tree if you want, where you can figure out what resources you need to eventually make them. So, the first of these resources is the Fusion Igniter. Now, these are currently worth over a whopping 15 million units, and before the resource nerf, they were valued at 18 million units a pop. So they haven't been nerfed as much as Starship AI valves, but they're still nerfed regardless. Anyway, like I said, fusion igniters can be crafted, and to be able to craft them you need to have a blueprint for them. And to get the blueprint you can unlock it from manufacturing facilities, or you can purchase it for 250 nanites on board the anomaly at the synthesis laboratory, along with the blueprint for some of the resources in its crafting tree. Again, for more nanites, so if you have a few thousand nanites spare, just buy the lot. And once you do have the blueprint, you are going to need 1 portable reactor, 1 quantum processor and 1 geodesite to craft it. But of course these items are rare themselves, and you can buy the blueprints for them on board the anomaly as well. You can now, thanks to one of the recent No Man's Sky updates, see the entire crafting tree you need to craft a fusion reactor once you have its blueprint. So take a look through that and see what resources you need to eventually get it. But for the purpose of being quick, here is a list of all the resources you need to craft the fusion igniter from basic resources. I'll leave these up for a few seconds, so if you want you can pause the video and make a note of them. I have also posted a link to the full crafting tree in the description of this video, so you can check this out for yourself if you don't yet have the blueprint for your save game. And next up is the stasis device. These, like fusion igniters, are also worth over 15 million units a pop, and again, pre-resource nerf, they were worth 18 million units a pop, so they weren't nerfed that much either. And once again, you can get the blueprint for them at either the manufacturing facilities on planets, or it can be purchased for 250 nanites at the synthesis laboratory on board the anomaly. And like the fusion igniter, the full craft tree to be able to build the stasis device is pretty damn big. The final 3 items you need to craft them are a quantum processor, a cryogenic chamber and iridesite. Again, the blueprints for these can be purchased on board the anomaly as well for some nanites. And as you're on YouTube watching a No Man's Sky video, you've probably heard of another No Man's Sky YouTuber called Zane's World. Now they've kindly done a how-to guide on crafting a stasis device in full, including everything you'll need from basic resources. So I've posted a link to that in the description below. But once again, here are all the basic resources you need and how much of each resources you'll need to be able to craft a stasis device starting from scratch. Just a side note, you can also create stasis device farms to generate billions of units, and in the very near future I'll be doing a video guide showing you how to do just that. So make sure you're subscribed because you won't want to miss out on that, right? Who doesn't want billions of units in No Man's Sky? So, as I mentioned, there are other rare items that aren't included in this list, but if I decided to include all of the super rare items in No Man's Sky, we'd be here for a very long time. And if there are other super rare items that you'd like to see in a future list, why don't you leave a comment letting us know what that item is or what location of that rare thing is, like starships, planets, companions, and so on. I can always do a second video. And as always, I'd like to give a shout out to everyone who contributes on the RNMS Coordinate Exchange subreddit, because they give us the locations to the most amazing planets, super rare ships, multi-tools, incredible player created bases, and a lot more. So without you, we'd all be spending far too long looking for these things, so thank you. And that, folks, is a list of a few of the rarest items or locations you can see in the insanely vast universe of No Man's Sky. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you're able to get your hands on these rare items or see these incredibly rare planets, and if you're still here, it would be totally awesome if you could take a few seconds to support my channel by hitting those like and subscribe buttons. And as always, thank you for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video.